Live from the GSN studios in Grafton, West Virginia, it's The Hudl.
And welcome in, everybody, to the 10th episode of The Hudl. It's going to be a great day. We have a big announcement at the end of today's episode, so stay tuned for that. And happy Thanksgiving to all that are watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We're up to 100 subscribers, Parker.
Yeah, that's great, buddy.
And it's the 10th episode. What a day, dude.
We got a lot going on today, Flea.
What a day.
Big announcements. It's all going down today, ladies and gentlemen.
We think you guys will be excited about this announcement.
Yeah, we hope you will. All right, Flea. So, let's talk about what we're going to do today. Last week, we gave a recap of all of the fall sports that were ending. Make sure to go check that out on the YouTube page. And we also talked about the high school football playoffs last week. And they still had not reached a conclusion on whether they were having the playoffs or not. But the Supreme Court this week ruled in favor of the WVSSAC, and the injunctions that some of the schools filed were invalid. So the playoffs will occur under the original seating that the SSAC had. It's better late than never, Flea.
Yeah, I'm glad there's these playoffs for these kids. I mean, they get to go out, play in the snow, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a good time.
And it's delayed a few weeks due to snow, and you know, when you think of high school football, there's not a lot of snow games that they're going to have. And this whole playoff is going to be played in really cold weather, probably a lot of snow. I think there's games tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and how you said, like, the playoffs have been delayed, like, these teams also get, like, more weeks of practice.
That's
too.
right.
Like, they got 2 extra weeks of practice.
And it's hard if you don't know if you're going to be in a playoff game, if you should practice or not. But here we are, and I think there's a lot of good teams this year, and it's going to be interesting. The Bearcats, of course, are not in the playoffs. They did have a good year.
Really good year, yeah.
Really good year. Hopefully that will continue. But I don't know. So fall sports are mostly over except for this football playoff. And it's time for a new sports season to begin, and that is basketball.
I'm going to say one thing, basketball. I think it's my favorite sport to watch, dude.
You like watching basketball?
Dude, I love it. I play soccer, but I love basketball.
Listen, it's a great game. It's always fun. It's always entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
High energy type of game.
And that's all we're going to be talking about today. I mean, we're going to sit down, the boys coach, Mike Johnson.
Yep.
Really good coach here at the program, and get his take on this upcoming season.
Yeah, he's a good guy. We'll get him on. We're going to talk about boys and girls basketball. So let's jump in before Coach Johnson gets here, and let's talk about the girls basketball team. Last year, they were 6th in the Big Ten and were 13-10. And, you know, they're only losing 5 seniors going into the season, Flea. And we also picked up a transfer from Lewis County, Hope Deaver, who will help us out as well. What do you need to see from this girls team this year to be successful?
I mean, we really need to see – this is what I think of a team that needs to win. You got to have good defense. Yeah. I mean, defense is first for me, and you got to shoot the ball well. That's so right. You're going to have to see these younger players come off the bench for, like, Hadley Horn, Kenna Keener, all them. You're going to have to see them step up in the role a little bit on the bench.
And we do have a lot of depth at the senior position, and I've talked to a lot of the girls this year already, and they say that this is a really solid team, and they're looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's really high hopes for this team, man, and like you said, like the young players have to step up this year a lot.
Yeah, and we have players like Hadley Horn, Kenna Keener, Jaslyn Ray, just to name a few, but they're looking really good going into the preseason, and we're going to see how that goes. We'll do a lot more coverage on girls basketball as well. All right, coming up next, Coach Johnson is going to be sitting down with us to talk about boys basketball. We will be right back. Stay with us.
At Quality Machine, we specialize in welding, machining, custom design, and industrial manufacturing. Our team's unparalleled expertise can deliver top-tier solutions for your next project or repair. Need structural steel work or crane and rigging services? We've got you covered. From small jobs to big ideas, Quality Machine is your trusted partner. Experience the quality difference. Quality Machine Company, where industry meets innovation.
And welcome back. Joining us now for the first time on the Hudl podcast, head coach of the Grafton High School boys basketball team, Mike Johnson. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Yeah, we're glad that you're here. So let's jump in and talk about basketball a little bit. Coach, you've been running this program for 10 years. You were 9-13 last season. And I just want to know, what will you consider a successful season this year in your eyes?
Well, I think, I told the guys this the other day before we really started practice after our 2 days of tryouts, that the fascinating part about this season is there's not an expectation. I tell them not to take it out of context. It doesn't mean that we don't plan to be successful. It just means that there's no outside pressure because we really return one guy with varsity experience. So, we just have to work to get better every day. We don't set wins, losses as being a success. Obviously we want to win more than we lose, but our main goal every year is to put ourselves in a position to make the Charleston State basketball tournament. And I just think for us, we just got to get better every day. And we've got to understand that this first half of the season is challenging and that it's going to have its ups and downs because of our inexperience.
Good. And so tryouts already happened. You guys finalized the roster. You had a few practices already. It's early in the year. What have you seen from the group of guys so far?
They're working hard. They are. I told them they've got to be a sponge right now. Our main objective is that we've got to get better every day. We can't take steps back from one practice to the next. So tryouts are done. We finalized the roster. We kept 21 guys, really 22 with Caden, even though he's not going to be able to play. But I'm excited about this roster. I am. We've got some mix with some older guys and some younger guys, and I think that we've got the potential to be a solid basketball team. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I think that we're headed in the right direction over these first couple of days of practice.
So I know you just touched on Caden, and that's already a big loss to this team before the season even began. He tore his ACL in a preseason game. Coach, tell me, how is this going to affect your game plan, and who has got to step up to fill his shoes?
I don't think it's one individual that has to step up to fill his shoes. This is my 24th year coaching sports at Grafton High School, and injuries are part of it, and they happen. I think it's a collective effort, and we're going to miss a guy like Caden. We are. He's a good athlete. He works hard. He put in a ton of work in the preseason, and it's unfortunate that it happened. But when you look at it from the whole scale of it, I think it's got to be a collective effort from a bunch of different guys that are going to have to fill that void. But, I think coaching high school sports is the ultimate challenge because you can't always do what you want to do as a coach. Yep. That you've got to be able to adjust your schematics and your game planning to fit the personnel that you have. So we've made some tweaks there. We're going to change some things up, how we do some things to try to fit the personnel that we have. But again, I think that we've got some decent size. We do. It'll just be able to, the biggest challenge for us will be putting those pieces together and how quickly we're able to do that.
Yep, and you guys have lost a lot of seniors last year, a lot of important guys. Are you worried about their inexperience this year on varsity?
No, I'm not. That's just part of the game. We've been doing this will be our 10th year, and we've had years where we've had a bunch of guys coming back, and then we've had years where we had no experience really coming back. And you just got to kind of weather that. That's just the nature of it. I've been a Grafton for a long time, and we cycle through it. We go through 2, 3, 4 years where we're pretty good and really competitive. Then we hit that year or two where we struggle some. So I'm not saying that we're going to struggle. I just think that early on, it's going to take us some time to kind of get our feet under us and adapt to the speed and the pace of the game that we're going to play.
Yeah, and it's hard to maintain that consistency of being a high-level team all the time. Such a hard thing to do in the high school world, and especially in basketball as well.
Yeah, it is. It's very difficult. It is. But it's a challenge that we welcome every year. I'm excited about this bunch. I am, just for the simple fact that because our inexperience and our youth, that we're going to spend a lot of time teaching the game, and that's the part of it that I enjoy. And again, I told them the other day that, listen, can't get caught up in wins and losses, especially early in the season, because it's going to take some time. It's going to take a little time.
And you have pretty strong freshman and sophomore class. There's a lot of guys in there, and they're coming up.
There is. There's some guys that we had come back out this year that didn't play last year that I think can contribute. This junior class is a solid group of guys. This sophomore class we have now has good size and good length, and there's some kids in there that, there's 3, 4, maybe even 5 kids in that group that are going to have to contribute early. And I think that they have the potential to be able to do that. And again, the biggest challenge is you got to piece it together. And I told them the other day, listen, that it may be a revolving door from week to week. This group's going to start this game. Maybe we're going to change that up for the following game, just to kind of to adjust to the personnel that we're going to see. So again, coaching basketball is a chess match, man. Yep. You make moves here and there, and you see how it works.
Yeah, that's right. And finally, Coach, just wrapping things up, we are in the Big Ten Conference, which always brings a tough schedule. Which teams do you think are going to bring the steepest competition this year?
Playing basketball in the Big Ten and coaching against the guys in the Big Ten is extremely challenging. I think we've got a ton of great coaches in our conference. I think it's probably the best conference in the entire state in Class AAA right now. So every night you have to show up and play, and if you don't show up and play every night, you're going to get beat, no matter who you're playing. So, Fairmont Senior is always really good. When you look at the whole scale of it, East Fairmont was really good the last couple of years. They did graduate a lot of guys. They've just gone through a coaching change, but I still expect them to be, a solid basketball team. Elkins is very well coached. Even Liberty, like Zach Bart was the Big Ten Coach of the Year last year at Liberty, and he's done a great job. But just an abundance of good guys. Steve Harbert and Marion's great. Marcus Johnson, Phil Barber's great. Just a bunch of good coaches in the Big Ten.
That's right.
So it's a challenging schedule. We're going to play Morgantown on Martin Luther King Jr. Day at Trinity High School, which will be an extremely very tall task for us. But since we've taken over the program, we've always scheduled very difficult because it prepares us for what lies ahead. It does. We're going to go into a game with like Morgantown, and it's going to be a challenge, but we're going to get better because of that challenge. So, night in and night out, it's a challenge, and it's a challenge that we welcome.
Okay. Head coach Mike Johnson of the Grafton boys basketball team. Coach, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
We hope to have you back, and best of luck this year.
I appreciate that.
All right, coming up next, we're going to wrap things up. We have the Mountaineer Minute and our big announcement. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us on the Hudl. Hey guys, Parker here. I want to tell you about my friends at the Keystone Realty Group. When you're looking for your dream home, time is of the essence. The North Central West Virginia real estate market moves very quickly, so you need an agent that has their finger on the pulse and keeps you in the know. Keystone Realty agents are responsive, honest, and will go the extra mile to get you the deal you want on the home you love. That's why Keystone Realty is the only group I trust for all your buying, selling, and renting needs. Conveniently located in the Middletown Commons in Fairmont, West Virginia, Keystone Realty is your key to home ownership. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Flea's Mountaineer Minute. Flea?
Yep, devastating loss in football last week, 49-35 against Baylor. I mean,
that's not a good game.
That's not what you want to see, man. I thought we were going to make the playoffs.
I thought we were too. Hopefully we'll be bowl eligible, though.
I hope, dude. I mean, play Pitt in the Cheez-It Bowl. I'm just joking.
I wish. That would be a great bowl.
And speaking of Pitt, basketball actually lost to Pitt.
Yeah, a few weeks ago.
I don't remember the score. I know it was by more than 20, though.
Yeah, it was not a fun game to watch. I mean, they just blew them out in the first half, and then there was no coming back.
They weren't missing a shot. We just couldn't hit a shot. No. We outplayed them, too. We forced, 14 turnovers. I mean...
Yeah, we did play decent defense there for a while. But
they just couldn't miss, though. And we bounced back with a win against Iona at home, won by 43.
Good win.
Small led the way. What a guy he is, dude.
Yeah, I know you like him, and that was an expected win against Iona.
We got another really good test coming up in Gonzaga Wednesday, dude.
Gonna be a little scary.
Battle for Atlantis. That tournament field is stacked with teams.
It always is.
You got LS Gonzaga, Indiana, Oklahoma, Providence. I mean, those
are basketball schools.
Yeah, those are just 5 really good teams. And girls basketball, they're off to a 5-0 record. They're ranked second in the Big 12.
A lot better than the men's, and they've played a lot of tough teams this year. A lot of ranked opponents. Kansas State, I think they played. But they're nonetheless doing a good job in that program over there.
Yeah, and they take on High Point University this week.
Yeah, definitely not a big as an opponent, but still worth it. Yeah.
And men's soccer, they're in the NCAA tournament.
I am amazed.
They got a win. They got a win last night, 2-1. Yeah. I mean, it got a little sketchy there at the end. They scored with 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
North Florida did.
North Florida.
Yeah. I mean, it was snowy there. Them Florida boys, they're
not used to that.
Not used to the snow.
Soccer and snow does not match.
And we didn't get seeded. And we won the Sun Belt.
Yeah, I was upset about that.
Yeah, I don't
know. Marshall got seeded over us too.
I mean, it's just political. That's all it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true. And Mountaineer sports, they're chugging along. I don't know if we're doing great. We're doing okay. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
That's always something different with the Mountaineers, though.
Yeah, you gotta love them, though.
That's right. All right, thanks, Flea. So now it's the time that you have all been waiting for. It's the big announcement. Flea and I and everybody else at the Grafton Sports Network are proud to announce that we will be releasing merch.
That's right, Parker. We will be making Hudl shirts and hats as well as for people who want them.
Yeah, that's right.
And we don't know exactly how much they will cost or when they will be released, but it will be sometime after Thanksgiving for sure.
We're working on it. Hopefully we can get hats and shirts. We definitely are going to have shirts. Not sure about the hats yet. Got to figure out some pricing costs, but we do want to give you guys some merch. We feel like that would be a great thing for the program.
And it'd just be cool seeing people wear our shirts around then.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I think people would wear them.
Yeah, I hope they would. I hope you guys would, and I'm excited.
We'll keep you guys updated on Instagram for sure about that.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone who has supported us. We couldn't have done it without you, and we made it this far. We're not going to stop now, and hopefully we'll be here for the next at least at least year. You know, we'll be seniors next year. We'll be gone after that.
Someone has to take the reins when we're gone, man.
Yeah, we gotta. If you want to take over the Hudl and Grafton Sports Network, please let us know if you're in a younger grade. We'll give you some pointers. We know what we're doing a little bit.
Kinda.
Sort of. We're still figuring it out every day. But make sure if you want to stay up with all the details about the merch drop, check the Instagram and the YouTube page. We'll be giving out more information about that. We're going to be off next week due to Thanksgiving, and it's almost Christmas time. We're going to have some decorations up for the little Hudl man here. And we hope you have a great holiday. Thank you for watching the Hudl, and God bless.